Today, let's make some rice the way my husband likes it. He's from Egypt. So, we're going to use rice, some vegetable oil. Here I have poured my rice, approximately 3 cups. And I'm also going to use a strainer. To season my rice, I use Morton salt, biryani, butter, and we'll also be using water. Here I have a spaghetti pot. And I have set my burner on a low setting, number 2. So, while my pan is heating, I'm going to pour some oil in, just enough to cover the bottom, and let the low setting on the stove warm it up. In my sink, we're going to wash the rice. So pour water into the bowl and mix it together. You're going to want to do this until the water becomes clear. Now that you see the water has a milky tint to it, let's dump some of it out, making sure not to dump the rice out. And do this again 3 more times, and you'll find that the rice will become clean with a clear water. After the 3rd rinsing, place your strainer in. I'm using my cell phone. And you're going to want to dump. It's kind of hard. You want to dump all of the rice into the strainer to clean it out. Now I'm going to use more water here to clean the rest of the pan out, and then pour it until the pan is clean. You know, when you're on film, it always wants to mess up. Okay, so then, to finalize any cleaning, I go ahead and rinse it some more. And strain the excess water out. While waiting for the water to keep draining, I will fill up my bowl with water of about 5 cups. I will not use all of the water. Then I will place it over here by the stove as we wait for the oil to heat up. Whoops, I guess we can see it's ready. Shake the rice a little bit in the strainer, whoops, to make sure that all of the water has drained out. Then, let's take it. Hear that sizzle? We're going to fry us some rice. And stir it. Okay. Then We're going to get the seasoning, the salt, and we're going to add it to the rice. Now this biryani is very spicy, so we just add a little bit in. You notice that it does have like some cinnamon and some other spices, and that's all I add. It equals about 1.5 teaspoons. Then I'm going to add some salt, and watch how I do it. I sweep across, and that's it. You don't want to add any more. Then we stir it up. You can see how some of the rice on the bottom is starting to puff. So keep stirring, separate it from the bottom of the pan, and the next thing we'll do is add our water, but there's a secret I'll show you. So let's scrape the bottom of our pan, and then I'll show you the secret. Alright, so the secret to finding out how much water you need to use is take your rice and make it level in your pan. Okay, so once it's level, grab your water, okay, and carefully pour. Alright, now that we carefully poured, you want to keep pouring until you have your water 1/2 of an inch above the rice. And then after you have that in there, stir it to loosen it from the bottom of the pan. Make sure it stays in the center. Come over here, turn it up to high, and then we're going to add our stick of butter. This is 1/2 of a stick of butter, which is about 4 tablespoons. Let's go ahead and put it in. And as the pan gets hot, of course it's going to melt our butter. So you want to keep this going until it starts to show signs of boiling in our pan. As you can see, it's starting to boil just a little bit. Go ahead and stir in the butter some more. So when you have a rapid boil, now since the pan has already been warmed on the low setting, it will not take long for it to start to boil. As you can see here, it took probably 2 minutes before it started to boil. Well, we're not ready to turn the heat down yet or make any changes, so let's just wait a little bit longer to make sure that we got a good rapid boil going on. A little bit longer. So when you stir it, you can notice that it'll still be boiling. I need to clean the rice off of that. I'll use my spoon. I got my phone in my hand, so it's kind of hard. Alright, so here we're coming up to our rapid boil. Now, if you make it go into a full rapid boil, it could go and boil over on your stove. So here we got a nice rapid boil. Let's turn this down to low. And then I have a cover, but when I cover it, I leave a little gap for it to breathe. You don't want the steam to push the cap off because it could boil over. So we're going to leave it this way for about 10 minutes. On my clock, it's 4:10, so we'll be back in a few minutes to check up on it. Can you see it boiling? See you in a few. All right, it's been 2 minutes, and this is what a good rapid boil will do. And remember, it's on the low setting. Well, it's been 9 minutes, so let's take the lid off. I don't have rough hands. Anyway, you can see how the rice has absorbed quite a bit of the water. So we're going to stir it up a little. I think we have another 5 minutes to go. Now, don't freak out. That's cinnamon, not bugs or anything from the seasoning. Okay. So this is what it looks like after 9 minutes of our boil. I'm going to go ahead and put the cover back on. And I'm going to leave it there for another 5 minutes. I'm going to show you the difference. Well, we're getting to the end here. So my burner is still on low. Nice and hot. You'll see that the liquid has now intermixed with the rice. Okay. Stir it up. You may see a little bit of liquid, but it's okay. Because what we're going to do now, oops, I'm going to leave the spoon in the pan. I'm going to turn the stove off. I'm going to take my lid. Oh, this is falafel. It's an Egyptian food, Mediterranean. It's really good. And I'm going to put the lid back on. Okay. Let's see, I put some water on the stove. And then I'm going to slide it off of the burner. And I'm going to let it sit there for half an hour before we sit down and have dinner. So, I hope you enjoyed my version of making rice for my Egyptian husband using spices from India. Till next time, bye-bye.